Well, it really came from one of my friends. I can't do it without my friends because they're mostly the ones that bring the presents. Like shaving creams, stuffed animals, shampoo, soap.
Well, as he said, he had a friend that had a birthday party, and unfortunately his friend's birthday is Christmas Eve, so his friend said, just don't bring presents, just come to my party. So Dirk went with that theme, and he said, oh, I can do that too, because he'll tell you he has plenty of toys. But he decided to have the people bring things to him to give to other people instead of bringing gifts to him. So the first year he did this, he donated to the food pantry. The second year he did this, he donated to the Humane Society in Shelbyville. And the last year was the Red Cross, so he's got a track record.
We may just do the same things over and over and over again because of the people in need.
A house just 2 miles south of here burned down right around Christmas time, and they were standing in the snow in their pajamas with no socks on, watching their house burn. And Glenda called at Christmas time and said, we used your presents today, Dirk, and my first reaction was, oh, that's too bad, because he collected things to help disaster victims. And so the children got teddy bears, and she gave them the comfort kits, the items in the comfort kit, and at that moment it hit home when Dirk realized that it was what he was doing helped other people. So that was quite a shocking moment for him.
Well, how long have you been taking karate lessons?
3 years.
Wow. What belt are you?
Black.
Already?
Oh, really proud. Yeah, we'll keep him. He's a keeper, I think. But yeah, he's a good guy, and he's a generous heart. He mentioned he had a black belt, and his black belt, they write in Korean a phrase that describes him, and his black belt says generous heart on it, and I believe that's very genuine.
Well, at first, the lady before me at church did just clothing once a winter, and she would pass out clothing. And the next year I went to do the clothing, and I wanted to add food to it because people need food. And we were very small for probably a year or two. And then I started dealing with Eastern Illinois Food Bank in Urbana, and we grew really fast after that. And April 1st, it'll be 9 years. Well, in a week, anywhere from 20 to 30 families, and sometimes right around 100 families a month. My husband was locked out at Staley's, and we would go to the Union Hall and get food from America's Second Harvest. And I really liked the way that worked. And we paid $13 a box for our food. But the whole production was just something to watch, and it inspired me. And of course I've read in the Bible many times to feed the hungry and the widows and orphans, it says. And I just had the desire to do it, and I knew that was something I could do. The pastor helps me, I call her my unsister-in-law. Linda helps me, and my daughters help me, my family. And then we have a youth group from the Methodist Church that comes in and stocks shelves. And we have the National Honor Society kids from the high school come every month when I get a truck, and they unload the truck.
That's great.
And that's been a big help, because unloading a truck with just me and my daughter has been really hard. Mostly it just to know that the kids are being fed, and to have a child come up to you and say, when are you going to be open? We need food, you know. It's really heartbreaking to hear them. And it just makes me feel good to know that people are eating a warm meal. I enjoy it. I will do it forever, till I'm not healthy enough to do it. And then hopefully somebody will continue it.
him. I was fortunate enough to talk to him about 2 weeks before his death, and he told me that he was really looking forward to coming home, and he wanted to go to ISU that very next semester, and he was really excited about it.
I just remembered a couple of things. I can remember one time me and him got off a track meet, and I used to have this I had 2 baskets, and we'd lower them down to where we could dunk it. And Garrick was a lot taller than me, and I remember one time he jumped so high, and he had his mouth open, he was smiling, he was gonna dunk it. And he just came down and just chipped his tooth right on the basket, on the rim. I think the mark's still there from it. He's funny when we were younger.
I remember back in early years of high school before we could drive. It was in the summertime, and we were playing with fireworks, and he had the black cats, and we were lying and just messing around. Well, I turned my back, which I shouldn't have, and he lit him, and he threw him on me, and I was like freaking out, and so they started popping. He was laughing, chuckling up, and now I look at it, it was a fun time, but then I was pretty mad about it, but it was a good time.
I just remember him always telling me he had like big dreams. Like he thought that the military, would be his vehicle to get to him, and that's why he did it.
He was my first high school boyfriend, so that's kind of a big deal. And I remember he had this old red Tacoma truck, or no, it was a Jeep, that's what it was. And so we always had to take my car everywhere because it couldn't make it down the street without fear of breaking down.
He wanted to do something bigger and better for his country and stuff, and get school and stuff for that, and show his mom he can do what she's taught him to do.
I shipped to basic training the day he died. I just miss him a lot, every day.
I wish the family well.
Then he would have made a huge difference in this world.
Yes, well, I was looking at TV, and my wife, she was in the back, and she heard a loud crash. She come to the front. She looked out the door. She says, a car against the tree. And then, she stepped out on the porch, and they was yelling a kid was in the car. So I was on my way out the door. She said, stop, put some pants on. So I had to go back in the house, put my pants on. Then I run out. And then when I went down there, they were still saying a kid in the car, a kid in the car. So the car had like white smoke in it. I really couldn't see the face in the car to see whether the kid or a grown up. So when I got down there with the face in the back seat of the car, so I took it was a kid in the car seat. So the kid picked up a brick and he started throwing it at the window, it wouldn't break out. So I started punching on the window. That didn't work. So I started elbowing on the window. That didn't work. So I got the brick and I started punching on the window. That didn't work. So I turned to the Lord. Lord, show me the way to get in here. So when I did break the back window out with the brick, I seen a guy about 6 feet, I guess, 6 feet tall. The smoke died down. Wasn't no kid in the car. I couldn't get him out the back because his legs were twisted around on the driver's side. So I had to go to the front window. So I had to start pulling. The window started bending down. And that's the last thing, I said, well, we can get him now. I looked around everybody else, they were gone. They were like, fire. So I was like, well, leave him. Is the car on fire? I couldn't leave him. I lost my father in the fire. And when I was about 13 years old, I lost a friend, about 12. And I couldn't imagine just leaving somebody in the fire, being burned, like that. I wouldn't want nobody to leave me in that. Yeah, I'll do it again. Because I would want somebody to, to do the same for me or my family. If you see some of my family in that predicament, help them, Don't leave them there to die. I'll do that for anybody. you got to start thinking about other people other than yourself, you know.